Guys, it's Murad. I hope you guys are doing well today. If you haven't already, click that button for daily and consistent content. Head over to my Instagram, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this video. So this is going to be a sector, I would say, of an entire episode that I did put up as a podcast. If you guys haven't, then please do go watch that. So I'm going to talk about partially some of it on here, and the rest of it at length is actually on my podcast, and it is attached below. To just discuss what, some of these contestants have really gone through from the show. And I wanted to do kind of a compilation to just really, really discuss at length what they've all gone through. Now, I do this on my podcast, but I really wanted to bring this to my channel on, to enjoy some daily consistent content. And from Marlon to Marcel to Samira to Yuwande, there's been so many from prior seasons where so much unfortunate trials and tribulations have taken place when it comes to these people, especially Marcel, who was, I remember discussing this when I reviewed Love Island ages ago, where a lot of people thought he was intimidating on the show. I wonder why that would be. Why was he seen as an intimidating individual by some of the contestants upon first sight? Especially Marcel. I feel like this guy has been thrown around this entire episode. I kind of feel sorry for him, but I'm glad that he's funny and he hasn't really seen it. First and foremost, when Amber was saying he was intimidating, my head was shaking. I'm like, is he intimidating because he's black? Because you're really reaching for the stars when it comes to that, and you really failed. You tried it, but you failed. We also then have Marlon, who was obviously last picked when it came to her season, and obviously that in itself is really self-explanatory at this point. I don't really have to go into it. And we then had the same thing with Samira. Samira is where it really kind of started, and where, because 2018 Love Island became really mainstream. And so this Samira situation is now escalating, and I feel that we definitely need to talk about it.
I'm fine, man. Do you know what I mean?
No, I get that.
Like, I'm honestly fine. People are like, you're right. I'm okay. But it always does. I'm quite made of stone. I knew it, like I'm not a joke, like you're beautiful, like it's not, do you know what I mean? It's
boys are flooring them and running themselves to Megan, as opposed to Afrocentric forms of beauty, as we can see with Samira. And what kind of irritates me with the situation is that a lot of people just say, maybe it's because she's not good looking, maybe because X, Y, Z, and it's like, how can you not see what the actual issue is? Are you just blind? Let me know what's going on, because I'm trying to really find out why people are so confused. Like, if you let me know what drug you're on, we can join you on that level of delusion, because it doesn't make sense to see what you can't see. On a positive side of a note, I'm glad a lot of people are talking about this. I'm glad that it's brought this to a discussion. I'm glad that we are seeing this on Twitter. People are, saying, why is she getting people? Or this is sad because of X, Y, Z. Because some people to convey and have a relationship with her. And in that sense, they would obviously watch the show. So from the show perspective, okay, I understand what they're seeing. But this diversity issue is a problem. And I feel like this needs to be solved immediately, ASAP, when it comes to the show. Because a lot of people are speaking about it. And it's definitely on Twitter. Really mainstream. It started off 2017, you could say. But it really became mainstream 2018, where, you had all the big deals and making a lot of coin out of it. And unfortunately, Samira suffered so much on that show, especially when it comes to colorism and racism. It was really unfortunate for her to see, to the point where she would cry, she would get really upset, and she would look at people like Megan and say, you're you and I'm me. And it was just very sad to see that for her. And she ended up leaving the show early with somebody who cheated on her twice. Now that in itself, or 3 times, I don't even know, but that was a complete mess. I feel like the guy Frankie was never really into Samira anyways. Like, I feel like he was just never really into her, point blank period. She kind of fell for it, and I felt like if she carried on in the competition, perhaps somebody may have come and it could have helped popularity. I feel like her leaving the competition itself just, I don't know, for her, she was just blind. Let's just say that. Child, love can make you blind, lust, whatever you want to call it, and it went that way. Now obviously with Yuwande, Miss Yuwande Babes the year afterwards, me even speaking about her and just supporting her, I support her naturally because I feel like she came across nice on the show, like point blank period. I think she just came across like a nice girl, and so many of you guys appreciated it. I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that. Wow, okay, people actually like me supporting her. I'm just supporting her because I just like her. So that in itself was interesting. But she went through a lot as well, being last picked on the show. This is mad. # Love Island. Flashbacks, black guy, black girl, and mixed race guy all left unpicked. Mad. Obviously, Yuwande is one of the first people on our minds, and because we don't want her to be a Samira 2.0, but it looks like things are swaying that way. It is only day one. But because of our preconceptions of seeing what Samira went through, we're obviously just like, we can already see this happening. Struggling, and then with the whole Danny stuff and Arabella calling her aggressive as well out of nowhere when she hasn't even displayed any of those aggressive traits. It really was mind-boggling and irritating. We also had Sharif on the show, who obviously left the show a bit earlier because of XYZ, certain issues that took place. I've announced that Sharif has been officially removed from the house. We're appearing on our screen tonight.
she goes on to say, I don't know the real reason yet, but I'm determined to get to the bottom of it. I don't know if he actually has done anything wrong yet. I need to look at his Love Island code of conduct, and I need to speak to him properly to find out what really happened.
And I found that to be quite, interesting because of the C word that he used when Ellie Brown used the same word the last year, and because he was play fighting with Molly, even though Molly May was totally fine with it, and he even expressed the reasons that how he felt like, as a black man, racism that he went through, and that was a reason for why he felt like that. And that in itself I found to be interesting because certain rules apply to one set, yet there aren't for others. And Sharif was an exact example. He wasn't even allowed to go to the reunion. He was completely blacklisted from the entire show, and that's never really happened, and that in itself was a major scandal for the show. Sometimes I feel like they associate or attach a scandal to a season on purpose to create PR, create discussion, to create that media frenzy. Maybe that's why they put Connor to the show, and they knew that Connor's or Ollie's kind of past would come out, and maybe that's why they do it. That could be food for thought. I don't know that's for sure, allegedly, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised with the way this world works. People attach stuff to cause that kind of frenzy. We also then have Leanne as well, who before he was even announced, I defended her, casually strolling through my timeline, scrolling through it all, and I'm saying that Leanne is suffering a lot of abuse, more than anybody else actually from the cast that has been released. Are we really surprised? No, we're not, but at the same time, this is not a type of narrative that I feel that we're going to allow or continue to be, being carried on when it comes to this show. I don't understand. I find it to be shocking. And people are now, this particular tweet saying, okay, so the racism couldn't even wait until Sunday, and has, been retweeting a lot. Everybody's talking about it. Before she even entered the villa, there was so much going on Twitter, and I just was sick of it, and it really just irritated me. And with other reasons, in reference to Mike, who I'm still supporting, I feel like, within the police, within themselves, he expressed it all. I don't need to go over it. Then in the show, the edits they were giving him, I just feel like were just they were happening too much for it to be a coincidence. I genuinely felt like it was just very, very, very weird. And then obviously with Naz as well, certain situations describing him as XYZ on the first episode and what he was going through as well, and people were discussing about it. All of this, I really do go at length when it comes to my podcast, and I really talk about it there. But I wanted to make a quick 5 to 6 minute video with compilation clips just to, remind you guys of just, not that you guys need reminding, I'm pretty sure you guys know about it anyways, of just situations that Love Island go through when it comes to certain stuff like this. And I feel like when it comes to racism issues for Love Island, they are no stranger to it. It actually happened to many other seasons, and I think it's happened in prior seasons from 2016, but I haven't been watching it. Most people weren't, but I'm pretty sure something that happens quite a lot. But I thought I'd make this compilation video just for you guys to enjoy at home while you guys are self-isolating. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Stay at home, please, and subscribe to the channel. Click that button for daily and consistent content, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.